Welcome back, Sharks Hockey. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Hope all of you guys are doing well here tonight on this Thursday night. We are one day till Friday, so man, 24 or less than 24 hours until the start of Friday, and then off we go into the weekend. But my name is Isaiah Leong, and I am here with the first ever edition, by the way. I want to introduce you guys to this new podcast that we have here. It's called the What in the Actual Teal Puck podcast, or What in the Teal Puck. That's the podcast name, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to be debuting it shortly as the Sharks begin the second half of their season. But yeah, What in the Teal Puck starts, I think next week is when we're going to start it. It's going to be a lot of fun. Can't wait for that. Right there, as you guys can see, new podcast all about the Sharks, talking all things Sharks. We're going to get into it. It's going to be a lot of fun, so make sure you guys tune in for that. But yeah, let's talk some hockey as the second half of the Sharks season is about to kick off. But before we get into that, though, I want to get into the Olympics, right? How many of you guys are actually watching the 2026 Winter Olympics? Like, how many of you guys are actually watching it? Because when you look at the Winter Olympics right now and what's going on in Italy is, well, first of all, it's been a lot of fun. I've been watching a lot of curling, bobsledding, skiing, it's been a lot of fun to watch. But let's talk about men's hockey, right? Because we've seen a lot of great stuff, we've seen a lot of outstanding play, but I don't think nothing has been more outstanding than the play of Macklin Celebrini. Macklin Celebrini in four or five games for Team Canada has 7 goals and 6 assists. This dude is leading not only the superstar studded team of Team Canada, but he's also leading the entire tournament when it comes to goals. Like, you know how many NHL players are there that are playing for Team Canada right now? Or not only Team Canada, but all across the world when it comes to competing in the Olympics for hockey. Like, you have so many great players that are competing in these Olympics, that are playing in the NHL, that have won championships in the NHL, that have, scored a lot of game-winning goals, that have scored a lot of goals, played great defense. Like, there's a lot of established players that are playing in this Olympics. And for Macklin Celebrini, 19 years old, his first Olympics, to be leading the entire Olympic field in terms of goals, it's absolutely incredible. And like I said last night, and I'm going to say it again tonight, Macklin Celebrini is showing the world what me and many others here in the Bay Area have been seeing and singing his praises for the last couple of years. This guy is special. This guy is the future of this sport, and he is going to be the best player in the National Hockey League. And you could say, like, oh, nobody cares, stop talking about him so much. Why would I stop talking about the guy who is the future of this sport, the guy who is the face of this sport, the guy who is single-handedly spurring a hockey revolution right now? ESPN and SportsCenter are broadcasting his name everywhere. Bay Area radio, they never talked about the Sharks back in the day where the Sharks were good. Well, guess what? They're talking about the Sharks, and the Sharks are not good because of one man and one man only, and that is Macklin Celebrini throughout the entire United States of America and Canada. I've been watching a lot of national TV about hockey and, NHL NHL Network and things like that, the different NHL podcasts, you know what they're talking about? They're not talking about the Panarin trade. They're not talking about what the Vegas Golden Knights have done. They're not talking about, the Blackhawks or the revival of the Detroit Red Wings or Colorado's smashing success. They're talking about what's going on here in the Bay Area, which is the breeding ground of the revolution of the National Hockey League. They're talking about Macklin Celebrini. That's what they're talking about, who is single-handedly spurring this revolution of the NHL. So it's been very fun to watch. It's been very outstanding to watch. It's been a lot of fun. And quite simply, man, this guy, you talk about Wayne Gretzky being the greatest of all time. There has never been a player that has come close to the talent of Wayne Gretzky. I think we have one right here in Macklin Celebrini. He's too humble. He's not gonna say it, but his talent speaks for itself. And his talent speaks that the baton is being passed from one Wayne Gretzky to Macklin Celebrini. And we got a comment right now from my guy, Callan McClurrick. He says, told you I'd be watching. Well, guess what, Callan? You're at a basketball game. So you can watch. You ain't going to comment. And you're not going to jump in and disrupt my show. So thank you very much. All right. Let's get into the second half of the Shark season. All right. The San Jose Sharks start the second half against Calgary. They have a very easy schedule schedule-wise coming up in the second half of the season. I think they have the easiest schedule in the entire National Hockey League. They've got the Flames, they've got the Oilers, which is going to be hard. Then they got the Winnipeg Jets, who are not really that good. But then you got the Canadiens, the Blues, Matthew Schaefer, and the Islanders come to town for a battle of the two rookies, Schaefer and Misa. They got the Sabres after that. They got the Bruins. They got the Canadiens, the Senators, the Oilers, the Oilers, the Sabres, again, the Flyers, Predators, Blues, Blue Jackets, Blues, and then the Anaheim Ducks. Which I think is going to be an extremely pivotal game that is going to determine the race for the final wild card spots in the Pacific Division in the Western Conference. Jen Kate 98 says, "What's up, Isaiah? Hey Jen, it's good to see you. How are you doing? Hopefully everything's well. Sorry about your Rangers. I know they had to get rid of Artem Panarin, but hey, you guys are kind of slowly drifting into a retool phase right now. So, wish you guys nothing but the best. But second half, let's talk about the Sharks' second half of the season, right? I've got into hockey now. Even though some people don't want me to get into hockey, I've got into hockey. But let me tell you guys this. As a OG fan of the sport now, and I think my guy Brody Brazil said it extremely well. There's a lot of new people that are slowly getting into the game and slowly learning the sport, right? Let them in, right? Because like I said, there is a hockey revolution that is going on right now in the National Hockey League. And like I said, it's spurred by Macklin Celebrini and Connor Bedard. Like this is our Magic Johnson and Larry Bird, right? With the National Hockey League. I've been to 20 plus games. You're talking to a guy that simply never even thought he'd go to one hockey game, let alone going to two hockey games. Or going to 20 now. So 14 in one season. So it's been crazy. It's been insane that I've been going to a lot of these games. But to be honest, like it's been a lot of fun. There's a hockey revolution that's going on everywhere. If you have friends that you don't think enjoys hockey, bring them to a game anyways, because hockey will change people's mind and they will convince them to love the sport. But let's get into the second half of the Sharks season, right? What are some things that I'm looking forward to as the Sharks get off the Olympic break and hockey resumes? The first thing I'm looking forward to is to see more of Kiefer Sherwood, right? This guy was the prized acquisition of the Sharks. We traded a couple picks for him. He was one of the big names that are available at the trade deadline, and so I want to see more of him. We saw one game of him, and he played pretty well. But he was coming off injury, and when he's coming off injury, like obviously you're going to expect rust. So I want to see him now with a couple weeks to heal, fully get into this with the team and into the system. How is he going to play alongside Macklin Celebrini, alongside Will Smith, alongside Michael Misa, with Tyler Toffoli there? I want to see how he does, and I want to see more of him and see what we paid the premium price to get. Before I continue on, though, let's take a quick commercial break. We'll be back. I'll give you my final three things that I'm looking for as the Sharks season, resumes, and then we'll call it an end for this second half preview show. All right, guys, we are back here here for our NHL preview show. Hope everybody is enjoying the show. But let's get into the Sharks second half. Like I said, the first thing I'm looking forward to is more of Kiefer Sherwood. Want to see how he does with Macklin Celebrini, as well as Will Smith and Tyler Toffoli, and also Michael Misa and the rest of the guys there, how he integrates himself. He's a very great offensive player. So I think it's going to be a seamless transition. I mean, we're adding more offense to an already loaded offensive squad. So I can't wait to see more of him, see how he plays, see him dominate on the ice. The second thing I want to see, I'm looking forward to for the Sharks as the season resumes, is I want to see the continued development of Michael Misa. Michael Misa struggled mightily, right, to start the season. He was like thrown into the fire, but I mean, I got to give Michael Misa a lot of credit. This guy was thrown into the fire. He was like obviously not really ready for the speed of the NHL, the physicality of the National Hockey League, but he's really come on strong after he recovered from his ankle injury. He's put in the work. He's finally come on strong. He's played a lot better the last 10, 12 games that he's played. He was doing really well before the Olympic break. So I want to see him continue that, the growth. I want to see him continue showing what he's got on the ice and really just showing the world the talent that he has and why he was a top pick. He was a top pick for a reason. So I want to continue to see that. I mean, we saw that with Celebrini last year. It took some time for him to adjust to the physicality and the speed of the National Hockey League. Definitely took a little bit shorter than Michael Misa, but hey, everybody takes their own time. And Michael Misa took him a little bit, but he finally was able to get up to speed and, learn the physicality and get used to it. So he's been playing a lot better recently. So Misa, I want to see his continued growth. The third thing I want to see is Macklin Celebrini's continued greatness. Like we've seen here in San Jose that this guy is awesome. This guy is great. We've seen now the world is seeing in Canada that he is great. He's awesome. But, I want to see how that translates now back to the NHL, because he's going to have experience with playing with guys like McDavid and Nathan McKinnon and all these players there. He's going to be playing against guys like Jack Hughes and all these like top-notch NHL superstars. I want to see like how he does. He's playing against great competition. Well, he's going to be even better now, right? Now that he goes back to the NHL. So it's going to be fun to see him continue to improve, continue to dominate on the ice. He's our leader. He's our captain. He's our face of our franchise. And his play for Team Canada is going to only make him be better and better and better. So definitely, I think we're going to see a more dominant Celebrini in the second half of the season, which is exciting because he was already really good to begin with. And then the last thing I want to see is this. The last thing I'm looking forward to is the playoff push. You know how many years, y'all, since the San Jose Sharks were last in a legitimate playoff chase? I'll give you a hint. It was before COVID. That's right. It's been that long. It's been since 2019 that the San Jose Sharks were last in a playoff chase. Well, now we get that excitement back. We're in a playoff chase, y'all. We are in a It's going to be exciting the final couple months of the season. Normally at this time, we're talking about trading players. We're talking about trying to get the number one overall pick, sitting guys, losing a bunch of games. It's not like this year. We are now in a situation where we're going to be scoreboard watching. How exciting is that? We're going to be freaking scoreboard watching, y'all. Like, that is freaking exciting. And to have meaningful games in March, in April, it's going to be so much fun to watch, man. I as a young Sharks fan who last year was a lot of losing, and the year before was a lot of losing, I can get used to this change of pace, and that's why it's so much fun. But Shark season begins February 26th in about a week from tonight. Sharks, Calgary Flames, the chase for the playoffs begin. Trade deadline is March 6th, so it's going to be a lot of fun to track that. But yeah, give me your thoughts on the second half resumption of the season. Give me your thoughts on what you guys are looking forward to. What you guys want to see, your thoughts on Macklin Celebrini in the Olympics. But yeah, it's been a great show, everybody. Appreciate everybody for tuning in here. And hope you guys enjoy as the rest of the Olympics and enjoy the start of the hockey second half starting next Thursday. Have a great night, everybody. Stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you guys later.